The Galactic Council had made their gravest mistake 3 Earth years ago when they authorized the invasion of humanity's homeworld. They had deemed humans primitive, emotional, and unworthy of existing in civilized space. The vote had been unanimous among the Council's 12 species. Earth would be subjugated, its resources harvested, and its people enslaved or eliminated. Commander Danny Reeves stood on the bridge of the UESS Retribution, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the Council's primary war fleet. 200 capital ships, each the size of a small city, hung in formation near the Proxima relay station. They had no idea what was coming. "All ships report ready, Commander," Noah Chen, her tactical officer, announced from his station. His fingers danced across the haptic interface, coordinating the movements of humanity's entire military force. "The trap is set." Danny allowed herself a cold smile. The Council had underestimated humanity's greatest strength, their ability to adapt, to innovate, and to fight with a ferocity that bordered on insanity when their survival was at stake. When the aliens had attacked Earth, they expected quick surrender. Instead, they awakened something primal in the human species. The first invasion wave had landed in major cities across the globe. New York, Beijing, Mumbai, São Paulo, all had burned under plasma fire. Millions died in the initial assault. The Council's ground forces, the towering Crithian warriors and their auxiliary species, had marched through the ruins expecting submission. They found guerrilla warfare instead. Humans fought with everything they had. Military forces coordinated with civilian resistance. A factory worker in Detroit could disable a Crithian walker with a homemade electromagnetic pulse device. A teacher in Tokyo could coordinate drone strikes using nothing but a modified smartphone. Humanity's fragmented nations united for the first time in their history, not in peace but in absolute defiance. The ground war became a nightmare for the invaders. Every street was a potential ambush. Every building could hide a sniper or a bomb. Humans used tactics the Council had never encountered: suicide attacks, biological warfare, psychological operations that exploited alien fears and cultural taboos. Where the Crithians saw honor in open combat, humans saw targets to be eliminated by any means necessary. But Danny and Noah had been part of something else entirely. They were scientists before they became soldiers. Researchers at CERN who had been working on theoretical quantum displacement drives. When the invasion began, the world's governments had given them unlimited resources and a simple directive: give us a weapon. It took 18 months of non-stop work in underground facilities. 18 months of combining human ingenuity with salvaged alien technology. The result was the Q drive, a propulsion system that didn't just move through space, it folded it. Humanity's new warships could appear anywhere in the galaxy within hours, not months. "Initiating Phase 1, Danny said calmly. "Signal the fleet." On her command, 50 human warships materialized from quantum folds around the Council's fleet. The aliens' sensors screamed warnings too late. Before they could raise shields or charge weapons, the human ships unleashed their payload: kinetic penetrators. Simple, ancient, and devastatingly effective. Humanity had learned that sometimes the old ways worked best. Tungsten rods accelerated to near light speed tore through alien hulls like paper. No shields could stop them. No countermeasures could intercept them. Pure momentum and mass, the fundamental laws of physics turned into weapons. 20 Council ships disintegrated in the first 30 seconds. "Phase 2, Noah reported, his voice steady despite the carnage unfolding before them. "Deploying the Medusa virus." This was humanity's most insidious creation. A computer virus so sophisticated it could adapt to any alien computer system. It didn't just disable ships, it turned them against each other. Within minutes, Council vessels were firing on their own fleet, their weapon systems completely hijacked. "We're receiving surrender signals," the communications officer called out. Multiple ships requesting terms. "No terms," Danny said flatly. "They wanted to exterminate us. We're simply returning the favor." It wasn't mercy that drove humanity now. It was calculated vengeance. Every human knew someone who had died in the invasion. Danny's own sister had been killed in the bombardment of Chicago. Noah had lost his parents in Shanghai. The survivors didn't want peace. They wanted the galaxy to remember what happened when you attacked Earth. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, the Council's primary fleet was destroyed, 3,000 alien vessels reduced to debris. The few ships that managed to escape would carry the message back to the Council worlds. But Danny wasn't finished. Set course for the Council homeworlds, she ordered. All 50 systems. Simultaneous strikes. Noah looked up at her, understanding the magnitude of what she was proposing. Commander, that's genocide, Danny finished for him. Yes, just like they attempted with us. Over the next 6 months, human fleets appeared in every Council system. They didn't invade. They didn't occupy. They simply destroyed. Orbital installations were obliterated. Shipyards were reduced to atoms. Military bases were vaporized. Humanity didn't want territory, they wanted surrender. The Galactic Council finally convened an emergency session, broadcast across all their worlds. The 12 species leaders appeared haggard, defeated. They had never imagined that the primitive humans could bring them to their knees. We surrender, the Council Prime spoke, his translator making his words clear. We beg for mercy. Danny watched the broadcast from the Retribution's bridge. Noah stood beside her, waiting for her decision. Tell them, Danny said slowly, that mercy is a human concept, one we extended to them repeatedly through diplomatic channels before they attacked. They rejected it. They chose violence. Now they'll live with the consequences. The terms were brutal. Every Council species would disarm. Their military technology would be destroyed. Human observers would be stationed on every major world. The Council itself would be dissolved, replaced by a new governmental structure with human oversight. Earth, once considered a backwater planet of primitives, now ruled a significant portion of the galaxy through fear and military supremacy. Noah turned to Danny as they reviewed the surrender documents. We've become what we fought against, he said quietly. Danny nodded, her expression unreadable. Perhaps, but we're alive, and no species will ever again make the mistake of attacking humanity. Sometimes peace requires a show of overwhelming force. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Humans weren't the strongest species, or the most technologically advanced, or the longest lived. But when pushed to the brink, when faced with extinction, they possessed something terrifying. The absolute willingness to fight without limits, without mercy, and without stopping until their enemies were utterly destroyed. The Galactic Council had wished for many things in those final days. But most of all, they wished they had never attacked Earth.